let's talk
Yeah.
about transportation. Because for many international nurses, they don't realize that there are very few places in the United States where you don't have to drive. I mean, New York City, for example, is one, but in most places, most people actually drive. Let's
Mhm.
talk a little bit about your experience with transportation. When I know that you've both lived in other places before, but talk about specifically in Texas what that's been like. Do you both drive? Do you have cars? Did you have driving lessons? Share with everybody who's watching your experience. Cha.
Okay. So in my case, since I came from other state and then move in here, I have to like transfer everything, like my driver's license, my registration. So it's pretty much a little bit like stressful for me to do that, but but I already like done it everything except for my driver's license because here's the thing, they said that because it's in the middle of the pandemic when I move in here, so I have to get an online for those who are like wanted to transfer from other state to here. So this is what I did. So I transferred my license. I have to book a schedule online, but the earliest that I get will be like next year. So I'm a little bit bothered about that because I still have my Kentucky State driver's license. And
Mhm.
then I think, as far as I know, like when I research, just have like 60 days to like process it before I can drive. So I called the DMV about it, and then they said it since it's in the middle of the pandemic, just disregard that ruling, and then just use your license and wait for your scheduled time for your driver's license to be transferred here in Texas. So I'm still using though my Kentucky driver's license, so it's okay until they like transfer it by next year. But my registration, everything is all transferred here in Texas now. So it just a little bit takes time for those who wanted to transfer from other state to here. So you just have to do that so you can like drive in Texas legally.
Mhm.
So the traffic itself, because I came for I can say like rural area, there's a huge difference in my driving adjustment because I'm not used to driving in a city. So like I've got
Scary.
horned many
Very
times.
scary.
Yeah, I got horned many times because yeah, it's really I'm still like afraid of driving because back in the Philippines, I'm driving but not like frequently driving. I just know how to drive, but I consider still myself as newbie driver. So like moving here in Texas, I came from Kentucky and the road are just like there's no road. I mean, the traffic there it's really okay, but coming here in Plano, Texas, it's really congested. So city, a lot of traffic lights. Sometimes I'm still confused with the traffic lights actually. So I got horned with that because but I'm getting used to it though. With that 2 months of staying in here, I get used to it. The traffic, and but some drivers are really nice though in here, some are not, but yeah, I think it's all over though. But it's just the driving. If you're new like me, I just recommend, because we have Uber here, we have Lyft. If you're like, for instance, going to the airport, just wanted to travel somewhere, better to like take Uber, especially with me who's a very new driver, because if you're gonna drive downtown, it'll be like bumper to bumper, and it's very for me it's stressful, especially for those who are new driver. So just my advice, not like take Uber every time you're going from one place to another. Just those times that it's like on downtown, better to take Uber or like Lyft.
No,
So
that's
it'll be lesser, yeah, lesser
yeah,
stress, and
yeah.
it'll be like convenient as well.
No, it can be very stressful if you're not used to it. Ivan,
Yeah.
what about you on the transportation? Did you always drive beforehand? Oh, there's Ivan, his first time in Texas. Did you drive beforehand? What was the whole experience like for you on the transportation side?
Yeah, I mean, I used to drive, and we have a car in Abu Dhabi, UAE, so we're driving there, and the Philippines as well. So there are public transportations here. I mean, in my first few days, I have no choice but to use the bus.
Mhm.
But the good thing in United States is everything is um, easy to get. It's convenient. Like I've heard in other countries, it would take you years before you would be able to get a driver's license. So here in United States, so if you have a driver's license in the Philippines, when I was in New Mexico, I basically just brought my driver's license. I gave it to them, gave it to the registration, and I took the exam. And we came here like March 1, 2016. And March 15, I already got my driver's license. So it's not difficult. So after like few days, I was already able to get my car. So basically, everything is easy to do here. Everything's easy to process. But definitely, everybody like needs a car here, except if you live in New York. Like probably the only place that you need to that you don't need a car is New York because it's very traffic congested and it's not practical to bring a car because like the parking are so expensive. So driving wise, I'm not stressed. So it's probably me and Chat we have different
Different
situation
experiences.
experiences
Yeah.
scenario. So if you drive in the Philippines, then especially if you are in the capital country, then you'll see the difference. It's stressful to drive in the Philippines because it's very traffic,
Mhm.
and the drivers there are basically they just don't have a driver's etiquette like here. The people here are
That's
courteous.
true. That's a good
It's true.
point, Ivan.
That's the people here are courteous. Basically, people here respects the lane.
Mhm.
There are some who don't, but I mean majority does. So
Mhm.
so what happens is the traffic is controlled. It's indeed still a traffic, but if you compare it to the Philippines, definitely it's very far because in the Philippines, like all of the cars would try to congest the
Yeah.
road, and they don't respect the lane. So there's probably one lane, there's two cars together, or there,
I,
so in three lanes there's like 10 cars together. So it's very congested. So it's very different. I like the driving here. The people are very nice, courteous. When you go in a stop sign, everybody stops, and everybody would give time for the cars to cross. So
it,
that's the big difference. So
it is definitely different. I'm just thinking of the time last time I was in the Philippines. I've never been so scared in my life. Is
mhm,
driving in the traffic in the Philippines. But people in the United States, by and large, are very law abiding
mhm.
when they're
Mhm.
driving. So they follow the rules here. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
everywhere. I mean, I live in California and it's the same here.